is up, gang? Thank you for checking out Sledgehammer TV today. SummerSlam weekend is finally over. We've been reviewing the shit out of everything, and we have saved the very best for last as we kick off year number 3 here on YouTube with our High Intensity 7 review and results show, brought to you by the premier independent wrestling organization in all of New York City, House of Glory, and we are going to do that right here and right now on the newest, fastest rising podcast in all of YouTube, iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Spotify, and Podbean, baby. Oh, take it like you mean it. It's the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. It's your new favorite show. So let's do it.
The Sledgehammer Wrestling Show.
All right, House of Glory fans, thank you so much for joining me. My name is Nick Nightmare. I am here with the best tag team in all of professional wrestling podcasting, Thor the Sledgehammer, the wrestling god of thunder, and the official sledgehammer of the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. My little buddy, my most trusted companion in the entire world, the world heavyweight champion of all the microphones in all the world. He is Mr. Blue, the Snowball. Thank you guys for checking out the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show's House of Glory, High Intensity 7, and I gotta bring my intensity to this show. You know, I'm nice and rested up. We watched SummerSlam. It wasn't bad. It didn't end well, but it wasn't bad. NXT, what can you say about NXT TakeOver Brooklyn that hasn't already been said? We already knew going in it was going to be the best WWE-produced show of the weekend. But if you missed House of Glory's High Intensity 7, you missed what could possibly be the true best show of the weekend. We had such a tremendous turnout. 2,500 House of Glory maniacs packed the NYC arena, and they were treated to what I truly believe is one of the finest cards this company has ever put together. If you're watching me and you know my House of Glory coverage, you know I say this pretty much about every show because that is what House of Glory does. House of Glory brings it. They bring the hammer down on the world of professional wrestling in the indie scene. Nobody is doing it better than House of Glory. Look at this show that we had tonight. We had a triple threat for the number one contendership to see who will be going up next for the Crown Jewel Championship. We had a tremendous fatal four-way tag team match that I didn't know about going into this thing that I was very happy that happened. The 5-on-5 elimination tag team match, Team House of Gangone versus Team House of Glory. Every single thing that they put on this night. The appearance of Austin Aries defending the Impact Wrestling Championship. And who would answer the challenge? Cash Flow Ken Broadway. As if you watched the preview and prediction show, you know I predicted that to happen. That's who I wanted to see, and boy, did they not disappoint. This whole entire night was absolutely fantastic. It was hot as fucking balls in there, man. These guys were laying into each other so hard, and the girls as well, that every single time they made contact with each other, you seen spray coming off of their bodies. The sweat was just exploding off of the competitors. This entire night was fantastic. If you missed it, you missed out. Make sure you do not miss the next one. They announced 2 big shows coming up. One on September 15th, the day before my birthday. Thank you for that wonderful gift for me, House of Glory, as I will be celebrating my birthday weekend with my favorite promotion in the world. Let's get into this card because I'm just going to keep sitting here jerking off over House of Glory because of how great it was. And I'm just going to say one thing. The end of this show, I actually put it out there on Twitter. I know some of you guys have seen it, retweeted it, because it's a goddamn fact that Anthony Gangone versus the Amazing Red. No ropes, no rules, no mercy. And no kidding, that was unbelievable. I'm just going to throw this out there just to be a fun guy, but the finish of that match we would see Anthony Gangone expose the ring. He would pull the mat and the covering off of the ring to expose the plywood floor underneath. And we would see the match finish on that. Isn't that somewhat coincidental to you that we would see the exact same finish, almost, on NXT TakeOver Brooklyn? I don't know if they're watching or if there's a mole of sorts or if, they had somebody in the crowd that just was like, God damn, that was good. We have to do that. So, I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not saying they intentionally copied House of Glory, but don't you find that a little bit weird, just slightly odd, that NXT would have a very, very similar finish to a show that happened just 24 hours ago, just a few miles away from where NXT TakeOver. That's my conspiracy theorist coming out. I just got to throw it out there in case any of you guys didn't happen to see the show. They did it first. House of Glory did it first and actually did it better. The intensity that came out of Gangone and the Amazing Red. I was going to say Gargano. No, because Gargano and Ciampa's intensity was fierce, but it did not match what I seen Friday night at House of Glory. Anthony Gangone actually retweeted my tweet where I stated that on social media, saying that that Gangone and Red's no ropes match made the last man standing match look like a walk in the park between two friends. And I stand by that statement. And Gangone would quote that tweet and say, the hatred runs deeper than wrestling. And I want to thank him for the retweet and for even acknowledging my existence in this world. But I could see that. It absolutely translates. This story is beautiful. And the fact that Anthony Gangone won the House of Glory Championship in such a brutal fashion. And as a result, we are going to see the Amazing Red be forced to join the house. This is compelling storytelling. This is one of the very big reasons why you have got to get your asses to the next show. You have got to start watching the House of Glory YouTube channel just as much as you have to watch this channel. Because it's second to none. Absolutely fantastic. Let's talk about the rest of the card. The triple threat match kicked off the show. Matt Travis, my buttery buddy, Montekia, and Evander James put on a fantastic triple threat match to kick this thing off. And we would have Evander James winning this matchup. And now he has earned the right to challenge for the Crown Jewel Championship. Why he had to earn the right, I don't think is cool. Because he lost, shouldn't he automatically get a rematch? I watched Cutting Corners with JD when he interviewed Evander James. They made mention of this fact, and it's just something that House of Glory doesn't do. They're actually very, very awesome frame of mind is, hey, listen, you lost. You lost, buddy. You get back down to the barrel. You don't just get another shot. Which is great. So Evander James had to earn it, and he did. Matt Travis. I can't say enough about Matt Travis. He is definitely one of my favorite guys on the roster. Montekia is always fun. Our resident Lucha Libre master definitely put on a show not to be forgotten. It was a fantastic triple threat match as always. Evander James, number one contender, looking to regain that Crown Jewel Championship that he still believes is his. We'll see what happens with that as the year goes on. The women's tag team match. We had Sonya Strong, my favorite House of Glory female, teaming up with Jessica Havoc, that absolute beast of a woman. She's cool as shit. I love Jessica Havoc as well. And they would defeat Violet and She in a okay match. I'm not going to be mean about it. I understand that you can't always have a fantastic match. It was a difficult environment to work with. Maybe the heat was throwing them off just slightly, but it wasn't bad. It just wasn't, I guess, what I was expecting. I guess I thought I was going to see a little bit more, but I would be fulfilled to the maximum because at the conclusion of this match, for some reason, Violet decides to snap. And she's just like, listen, I'm sick of this. Everybody thinks I'm a bullshit champion. I want to do this right now. Let's get this over with. She lays out the open challenge. Sonya answers and finally wins the House of Glory. Actually wins the House of Glory Women's Championship. We have the rightful queen atop the throne of House of Glory. I cannot wait to see her defend this title against anybody that wants to come her way. Sonya Strong is a fighting champion. She is not going to turn away any challenge. And now that she is atop of the mountain, it's going to be tough to stay there. It's one thing to become champion. It's a whole nother thing to stay champion. I know she has it in her to do it. I am not worried. Not one bit. I am just looking forward to some of the great matches that we might have in our future that are going to be for the House of Glory Women's Championship. No longer is it around the waist of an undeserving person that wants to just walk around pretending to be champion. No disrespect. It just is what it is. And I'm glad that it's over. Thank God. Sonya Strong, mi morena de mi corazón. I salute you. 4-way tag team matchup. LAX defeats the Masons, Private Party, and Hollywood's Top Models. LAX always brings a good time to House of Glory, no matter what venue we go to. It just seems to be extremely heightened in the NYC arena. I don't know if, like I said, there was 2,000 strong that all were in full support of LAX as they come out and do their thing better than anybody in the world. They would go on to win this very good fatal 4-way match. I was glad that the Masons didn't win, those rat bastards. I'm a big fan of Private Party. Those guys always making the whole entire house have a good time as well. It's always a fun time with Private Party and LAX, and they did not disappoint here. And, of course, LAX is going to win because who's better than them? Nobody! There ain't nobody better than LAX right now. The House of Gangone took on Team House of Glory. Leroy and his little friends, larger than life, Brian Burgundy and TJ Marconi, Mr. Lion, and the circus guy. And if you watched the preview and predictions, you know what I said about circus guy. Now, and I'm going to give you props, circus guy. You did a great job, but, maybe drop the circus act because it's kind of my thing. You don't know about that yet, but one day you will. It's coming, believe me. Anyway, all that kidding aside, this was a fantastic elimination tag team match. Very high drama, very high intensity. I was furious that Juba was eliminated. Of course, Juba is my guy. Everybody knows he is the next future heavyweight champion of the world. I will free him from the House of Gangone one day, and we will reign supreme across the entirety of the professional wrestling world. It is a guaranteed fact. You have Heyman and Lesnar, and you are going to have Nightmare and Juba, and it's going to be spectacular. But until that happens, I have to see him lose in a 5-on-5 tag team elimination match where Juba should have been the sole survivor, and maybe would have been had he had me in his corner. That being said, we did have a fantastic winner as Smiley, my second favorite guy in the House of Gangone, only second to Juba himself, was the sole survivor, pinning Leroy Green in a very climactic fashion, and would win for the House of Gangone. As I predicted, Gangone's house was just way too much for any team that House of Glory could assemble. I'm telling you, Leroy, man, you should have went with Private Party. You should have asked Broadway, but I guess they had their card full. And thank God he did, because I loved that match between Ken Broadway and Austin Aries. The greatest man that ever lived, the Impact Wrestling heavyweight champion, taking on our resident King of Cash. The New York, I don't even know what else to call him. I can't think of anything else because Ken Broadway is too good for words. He's too fucking good for words. He went toe-to-toe with Austin Aries. Definitely took him to a great match, but in the end just did not have it. It just was not his night for cash flow, as Austin Aries just proved to be a little bit too much for cash flow, but the match was absolutely fantastic. Sidebar, meeting Austin Aries, absolutely amazing. The guy is fantastic. He is super, super friendly, very, very open. He was just very, very cool. Thank you, Austin Aries, for the time that you gave to me over in House of Glory, and I'm looking forward to seeing you come back around again many times. Always was one of my favorites back in the days when he was in TNA doing his thing, and then even further when he was doing it in the WWE. I hated that they put him on 205 Live, but I'm glad that it all ended up the way it did, because now we had this fantastic night at High Intensity 7, and Austin Aries was a main part of the reason for it. The Crown Jewel Heavyweight Championship was defended by Sammy the Rat Bastard Callahan. House of Glory hired the professional wrestling assassin, this generation's hitman, Low Ki. And Low Ki took Sammy Callahan to the absolute limit, to the point where Callahan had no choice but to break the rules and would get himself disqualified in this matchup, giving the win to Low Ki but retaining the Crown Jewel Heavyweight Championship. However, the celebration for him would be short-lived, as we would have a surprise impromptu appearance from Bubba Ray Dudley. Bully Ray came down to the ring, powerbombed Sammy Callahan, and then laid down the challenge for House of Glory's future event on October the 5th, I believe. We'll check with that in just a minute and we'll get back to you. It's going to be fantastic. Sammy Callahan versus Bully Ray. Are you kidding me? You want to talk high intensity? My God. At Extreme Warfare. That is going to blow the roof off of the NYC arena. And I can't wait. Then, of course, we had the no ropes match, which I touched upon at the beginning of this thing. I've never seen a no ropes match. Like I said on the prediction show, I didn't go back and watch the match that was posted by House of Glory on their YouTube page for the one that they had already held a couple of years back. I wanted to be fully immersed. I wanted to be fully surprised and experience it for the first time, completely unknowing of what I was about to see. And these guys almost killed each other. It was difficult to watch at points. I found myself cheering for Gangone, as I do, and he's such a brutal bastard that you feel bad even in supporting him. As much as I love him, I'm like, God damn, should I be cheering him for what he's doing to the Amazing Red? Thumbtacks, ladders, exposed ring, no ropes to get in the way. The Amazing Red still finding a way to get himself up onto the ring post, using it as a weapon to use his aerial tactics to try to gain the advantage over Anthony Gangone. Absolutely perfectly booked. There was so many times towards the end that you just thought there was no way Gangone had anything left in the tank. But that would not be the case. Gangone gets the win over Amazing Red in a match that needs to be seen to be believed. As soon as they put it up on the YouTube channel, I urge you guys, if you happen to see this show first, go watch that match and you will know exactly what I'm talking about. It's worth every minute of your time, just like it was worth every minute of my time and every dollar that I spent on Friday night. You can't get more for your money. You cannot enjoy yourself harder than you will at a House of Glory event. NXT is great. You know, you go and you get the whole shebang. But when you go to a show like House of Glory, the ambiance is different. You get to hang out with the wrestlers. They're more accessible. We got a full-on bar right there for all your drinking needs. Right next to the ring, bro. You don't got to go far. We got a disco ball. What professional wrestling organization parties harder than that? You got a disco ball spinning around during wrestling matches. Because no matter what, we're having a good time at House of Glory. And I urge each and every one of you, if you don't live in New York City, watch them on YouTube. It is awesome. You will not regret it. And don't forget to look for this handsome mug in the crowd, because I am all over the place. I have been at House of Glory every single show for the last year and a half. And it's the greatest thing I ever did. You probably have a House of Glory in your town. It would do you some good to do a little research, get off your ass, get your eyes off the screen, sit down, and do a little bit of work, wrestling fans. Look for your local House of Glory. If you live in Alabama, if you live in Alaska, you live somewhere in Canada, there's got to be wrestling everywhere in Canada. You're living in the UK, you probably know what I'm talking about. You just got to look for it. It's there. You won't regret it. Independent wrestling, there's almost nothing better. Thank you guys for joining me today for my House of Glory review and results show for High Intensity 7. I look forward to seeing all of you fuckers down at the next one. Make sure you come over to me and say hello. That includes all of you guys in House of Glory. I don't bite, man. Don't be intimidated by the hammer. You want to come talk to me? You watch my show. You tell me you like my show. Tell me you hate my show. Tell me you want me to be your manager. Maybe we could work something out. Just get at me, bro. I'm always there. You know where to find me. Front row center with my Sledgehammer TV shirt on. And as always, sporting the mask of the House of Gangon. That is going to do it, my friends. My name is Nick Nightmare. This is Thor the Sledgehammer, the official Sledgehammer of the Sledgehammer Wrestling Show and the Wrestling God of Thunder. Mr. Blue, the Snowball Microphone, the World Heavyweight Champion of all the microphones in all the world. He's so glad to be with you, as I am glad to be with you. Thank you guys for spending your Monday morning with us. We're getting ready to tear down Monday Night Raw, because I'm sure they're going to screw everything up. But we'll have to wait and see, and I hope to see you guys there on the flip side. That is going to do it, and we are out of here, and we will see you next time right here on the official home for House of Glory's review and everything. This Sledgehammer Wrestling Show. We'll see you guys next time. Have a good one.